Pennsylvania. This is CBS 21 News at 5.
I know those videos are chilling. They've been haunting me for months. I've been trying to unsee them for the last 6 months. Those
Unbelievable video shows us the exact moment so clear. Cody Balmer setting the governor's residence on fire from the outside in those early morning hours of April 13th, while Governor Josh Shapiro and his family were sleeping upstairs. Also footage of Balmer walking through the residence, trying to kick down doors and get closer to the governor, pleading guilty today that he was trying to kill him. I'm Joel D. Smith. We are live outside the governor's residence right now. It looks very different than it did that night back in April. As we take a look, they are still putting the finishing touches on a new wall. It's supposed to be much more difficult to penetrate and get inside. As we pan up, you will see some spotlights that have been installed here as well to make things even tougher to go unnoticed at the governor's residence here in Harrisburg. Now, earlier today, Cody Balmer walked into the Dauphin County Courthouse and pleaded guilty of trying to kill the governor, pleading guilty to all charges. He also pleaded guilty to arson and terrorism as well, all in connection to that firebombing outside the governor's residence right here. We have team coverage of all of this today. We're going to be hearing from a number of people. TJ Anthony on talking about some of the security issues here and what questions we still have. Maxine Rose is looking at political violence on a broader scale. But let's start with the timeline, how we got here. And for that, we go to Candace Scalise.
It was early in the morning on April 13th when Dauphin County District Attorney Fran Chardo says Cody Balmer secretly climbed a high fence onto the governor's residence. Surveillance video shows Balmer walking up to a glass window on the south side of the mansion and breaking it using a sledgehammer. He then throws a flaming Molotov cocktail inside, starting a fire. Next, he moves on to a second window, which he also breaks with a sledgehammer. He climbs inside. The video follows Balmer inside, where he's seen kicking 2 doors, but couldn't break through. Behind one of those doors was Governor Shapiro, the First Lady, their 3 children, 15 overnight guests, including members of the governor's family, and 2 Pennsylvania State Police troopers. After not getting through, Balmer throws the second Molotov cocktail in the dining room area, starting a second fire. Video shows Balmer leaving the residence through double doors 1 minute and 45 seconds after breaking that first window and starting that first fire. You can see him walking across the lawn past the flames as they continue to grow. And within 4 minutes, the first fire is taking over the room.
So today, our cameras were rolling when Balmer walked into the Dauphin County Courthouse before pleading guilty of trying to murder Governor Josh Shapiro. CBS 21's Fatima Moan was there covering the proceedings today in the courthouse, and she joins us now with more.
Cody Balmer and his defense team pleaded guilty to all counts and is now facing up to 50 years in prison for attempted murder, terrorism, multiple counts of arson, and over 20 counts of reckless endangerment. The hearing was about an hour long and included Balmer's guilty plea. The DA's office also outlined some of the evidence that it had in this case and why the plea agreement was reached. In court, we heard statements read aloud on behalf of Governor Josh Shapiro and his family, talking about the impacts it had on them. The DA read it saying, quote, "happened where we felt the safest." A note from the Balmer family was also presented, while some of the Balmer's family members were also in the courtroom. Balmer's defense read messages directly to him. Quote, "This has affected us all. The pain, confusion, sadness. Your children miss you." Balmer's mental state was brought up during the hearing with his time as a father, brother, partner, and son.
Setting somebody's house on fire, the house where they are asleep, where there's 20 people asleep in that house, that's a substantial step. There was a police call, and I revealed that, but there was no claim that he was a danger to others. And that's the standard, is that he presents an immediate danger to others, and there was nothing expressed about that, just that he had some issues.
Balmer and his defense team have 10 days to submit a post-sentence motion to appeal any charges presented. He will continue to stay at the State Correctional Institution of Camp Hill. Reporting in Harrisburg, Fatima Moen.
Fatima, thank you for that report. So we're here on the Front Street side. You know, the river's just over here, and there's the governor's residence. We have TJ Anthony on the 2nd Street side as we're getting more into what really happened here and what's happening moving forward when it comes to security and a couple other issues. I know, TJ, we still have a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to all of this.
That's absolutely right, Joel D. In fact, one question that's on the mind of so many people right now across the Commonwealth is how someone was able to bypass all the security measures that were in place, get over a brick barrier wall, get onto the property, and ending up firebombing the governor's residence with his family inside. But that arson attack did prompt what's just beyond that black fence right there, just months of construction being done, not only to restore the inside, but also ramp up security around the perimeter as well. Joel, you mentioned there's a lot of security on the other side. Right here, you can definitely see just all the construction work that's being done, including the work being done to build a new wall as well. So Governor Shapiro spoke today, still understandably very shaken by everything. And that was, you could visibly see that on his face and on his wife's face as well. He did point out, though, that there are new security measures in place for he and his family.
What you probably don't see is the subsequent security changes in all aspects of our lives and our children's lives.
And our CBS 21 investigative unit did a lot of digging and found out that around $7.1 million in tax dollars were spent restoring the governor's residence. Now, right now, it's pretty unclear if that figure includes security upgrades. However, we do know that number does include totals from invoices, contracts, purchase orders, and receipts as well. Now, I did get a chance to speak with a former U.S. Marshal today about the security upgrades being put in place. Check out what he had to say.
The upgrades are needed. I'm quite sure no one will ever be successful trying to do that again. And I'm sure that the state police took the proper steps to make sure that it's never going to happen again.
And we also know that a consulting company did a thorough review as to what took place that night. And since then, Pennsylvania State Police confirmed that it is implementing changes to security, but they still did not specify what those changes are. Reporting live in Harrisburg, I'm TJ Anthony. Joel D, back over to you.
All right, thanks a lot, TJ. We'll be hearing from our political insiders live out here talking about some of the security issues as well and some of the things that we heard today in court. But if you want to go back to the beginning of this and see our coverage, maybe listen to that phone call that Cody Balmer made to police or the amazing video we've been showing you so far. There's a lot more of that you can check out at CBS21.com. And in just a bit, we'll also hear from Maxine Rose, who's got a live report on political violence. And there's actually a ceremony happening today to honor another piece of political violence that happened very recently as well. For now, I'm Joel D. Smith. Back to you.